Good morning, learners. How are you all? I hope you all are paying attention towards your study. You need to study 5-6 hours a day. Don't keep pending work else you won't be able to catch up. Okay? I am Ruchika Sharma from Cambridge International School, the SUA, and I am your economics teacher. As you know, we have covered 2 chapters of your book. That means half of the syllabus is covered. I am making this video in order to make you people revise chapter 1, the story of village Palampur. We are making revision video lessons as we all are aware of the fact that revision is the key to success. Now, without wasting time, just let's start. The story of village Palampur, that is chapter 1 of your economics book. But economics, have you heard of the subject economics till grade 8? The answer is simply no. Economics is a new subject for you. I just want to give you a quick revision of the introduction of economics. Actually, dear students, you have been studying economics till grade 8 in political economics only, in political science. But now in grade 9, you will be having a separate book called economics. In economics, we are going to study economic activities, production, consumption, and exchange. So, economics means economic activities up to your level. Now, let's revise chapter 1, the story of village Palampur. You know, India is a land of villages and farming is the main production activity in the villages. This is the same case in Palampur. Palampur is also a village in which most of the working population is engaged in farming. Dear students, the purpose of the story is to introduce some basic concepts relating to production. What do you mean by production? Which are the inputs in production? What are the outputs of production? How do you undertake the process of production? And everything related to production. And farming is the main production activity of the village Palampur. Along with farming, there are very few economic activities undertaken in Palampur, such as small-scale manufacturing, dairy, transport, etc. Now, next comes the resources to be used in order to produce goods and services. The main resources that you are supposed to use in order to produce any kind of good or service, that is natural resources like land, water, then man-made items. You can see cotton or other man-made raw material. Then you need labor, that means human effort need to be made. And the last one, in order to assemble all of these, first of all you need money. So there are 4 resources: natural resources, man-made resources, human resources, and money. As I am revising the introduction part of the chapter, let me introduce you to village Palampur. Actually, this village Palampur in this story is hypothetical, that means an imaginary village. And in your imagination, let's imagine village Palampur. Palampur is well connected with neighboring villages and towns, especially Raiganj. Raiganj is a big village and is just 3 kilometers away from Palampur. Palampur is connected with all-weather roads to the village Raiganj and further to small town of Shapur. Transportation facilities are easily available in Palampur. It may be tongas, bogies, motor vehicles like motorcycles, jeeps, tractors, and trucks. So, you have understood where is actually Palampur located and its neighboring villages. Now, let's talk about families living in the village. The village has about 450 families belonging to several different castes. The 80 upper caste families own the majority of land in the village. Their houses also are made of brick and cement. While if we talk about other category of families living in Palampur, that is SCs. SCs comprise 1/3 of the population and live in one corner of the village, and their houses are mostly made up of mud and straw. Talking about houses, let's go through the infrastructural facilities available in Palampur. What kind of facilities are available in Palampur? Most of the houses have electric connections, and because of electricity, all the tube wells in the field get power from electricity only. Palampur has 2 primary schools and 1 high school. And if we talk about medical facilities, then there is a primary health center run by the government and 1 private dispensary is also there. In short, Palampur has well developed system of roads, railways, transport, electricity, schools and health center. Now, we are going to study organization of production. Till now, I have given revision to the topic of introduction. Dear students, we all should know the meaning of production. Production refers to economic activities in which we produce such goods and services that can satisfy human want. Thus, the aim of production is to produce the goods and services that we want. In organization of production topic of this chapter, we are basically going to revise factors of production that are requirements for production. There are 4 requirements for production of goods and services: land, labor, capital, and human capital. Let's talk about land first. The first requirement is land and other natural resources such as water, forest, minerals. Let's suppose you need to start a factory of textile. What do you need first? That means a land upon which you can build your factory. The second requirement is labor. You cannot perform all the duties on a field or in a factory yourself. You need some workers. Those are called labor. Basically, people who will do the work for you is called labor. Some production activities require highly educated workers, while other activities required workers who can do manual work. For example, farm laborers on a field. The next requirement of production is physical capital. Physical capital means the variety of inputs required at every stage during production. In factory, you need machine, tools, you need diesel, petrol to run the machines. These all comes under the category of physical capital. Basically, you can divide physical capital into 2 categories further: fixed capital, working capital. Fixed capital means tools, machines, buildings, which can be used in production over many years. And if we talk about working capital, the main example is Raw materials and money. Production requires a variety of raw materials, such as the yarn used by the weaver and the clay used by the potter. Also, some money is always required, but these cannot be used like fixed capital over many years. This is known as working capital. The fourth requirement is called human capital or entrepreneur. These refer to knowledge and enterprise which is required or which is able to put together land, labor, and physical capital and produce an output. Therefore, human beings who are able to put together land, labor, and capital is known as human capital. Therefore, every production is organized by combining land, labor, physical capital, and human capital, which are known as factors of production. Now, after organization of production, let's talk about farming in the village Palampur. As you must have learnt now, 75% of the people of Palampur are dependent upon farming for their livelihood. These could be farmers or farm laborers. Now, talking about land, then you should know land area under cultivation is always fixed. Since 1960 in Palampur, there is no expansion in land area under cultivation. The simple reason behind this is the wastelands in the village had been converted into convertible land. Therefore, there is no land left to be used for cultivation. Now, the question arises, how can existing land under cultivation can be used to increase more production? First of all, let's read the basic terminology used in case of land. The standard unit of measuring land is hectare. That is, 1 hectare equals the area of a square with one side measuring 100 meters. If you say Ram is a farmer who owns 26 hectares of land, hectares means unit of measurement of land. Again, comes back to the question that just arisen, that how can existing land be used to grow more and more? Basically, there are two alternate ways which can be used to grow more from the same land. One is multiple cropping, the other is modern methods of farming. And if we talk about multiple cropping first, know the meaning of multiple cropping. To grow more than one crop on a piece of land during the year is known as multiple cropping. And if we talk about farmers of Palampur, then they are successfully growing more than one crop on their piece of land. During rainy seasons, the farmers are producing kharif crops, which are mainly jawar and bajra. After that, between October and December, farmers of Palampur are cultivating potato. And now comes winter season, in which they are producing wheat, which is known as rabi crop. Therefore, farmers of Palampur are producing kharif crops, potato, rabi crops. And along with this, they are also planting sugar cane once in a year. so that they can sell sugar cane to traders in Shapur. So this was multiple cropping. Next comes modern methods of farming. Modern methods of farming include modern machinery like tractors, threshers, and modern methods include use of HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, etc. Now let's understand HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers, and pesticides. These all are used in order to increase the yield. Yield means crop produced on a given piece of land during a single season. Till the mid 1960s, the seeds used in cultivation were traditional ones with relatively low yields. But now, with the introduction of green revolution in the late 1960s, the Indian farmers have started cultivation of wheat and rice using high yielding variety seeds, that is HYV seeds. Compared to the traditional seeds, these seeds promised to produce more, and as a result they are producing more wheat. In Palampur, the yield of wheat grown from the traditional varieties was 1300 kg per hectare, but with the HYV seeds, the yield went up to 3200 kg per hectare. But these modern methods also are different from traditional methods on the basis of irrigational facilities. HYV seeds need plenty of water and also chemical fertilizers and pesticides to produce best results. Therefore, pressure on water has been increased because of the use of modern methods of farming. Dear students, therefore, in order to produce more from the same land, you need either multiple cropping or modern methods of farming. But for both of these, what you need is well developed irrigational channel. Now, the next question arises: if we continue to use land in such massive way, will the land sustain? As I stated before, modern farming methods have overused the natural resource base. HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers, pesticides require more irrigational channels. Most importantly, continuous use of groundwater for tubewell irrigation has reduced the water table below the ground. Environmental resources like soil fertility is also damaged. Once destroyed, it is very difficult to restore them. Therefore, dear students, we must take care of the environment to ensure future development of agriculture. Therefore, the focus should be now on future instead of ruthless consumption of resources today. Else, sustainability of the existing land would be an alarming issue for all of us. Now, let's talk about how is land distributed between the farmers of Palampur. As we know, total 450 families live in village Palampur, and about 1/3 of the 450 families are landless. Therefore, 150 families have no land for cultivation, and of the remaining families who own land, 250 families cultivate small plots less than 2 hectares in size. This is the picture that indicates the inequality in the distribution of cultivated land. 64% of the cultivated land that is indicated with yellow color is cultivated by only 20% of the farmers, while small farmers, which are 80% of the total farming population of Palampur, is cultivating only 36% of the land. Therefore, you can see there is a wide inequality in the distribution of land in Palampur between small farmers who are cultivating less than 2 hectares of land and medium and large farmers who are cultivating more than 2 hectares of land. Students, that's all for today. Now let's revise what we have covered from chapter 1 today. First of all, we understood the location, neighboring villages and towns, and basic facilities available in Palampur. That comes under introduction part of the chapter. Then we revised 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital and human capital, which comes under organization of production. Then we understood that land is fixed and we need to grow more from the same land, for which we understood 3 alternate ways. One is modern farming methods, second is multiple cropping, and third is well developed irrigational channels. And after studying all of these, we understood that excessive use of modern methods can be an alarming issue for all of us, as question of sustainability of land will automatically arise in coming years. So, focus should be on future too. And last topic that we today covered is land distribution in the village Palampur, in which we found out that there is a wide difference between small farmers and medium and large farmers in terms of land ownership. That's it for today. Keep revising and keep hard working. Bye-bye.